Oh look, I'm back in Parque Morazan. Probably know what this means. Going somewhere, but, well, we'll find out where. So I'm in Heredia. Took the bus here. That's pretty normal. I'm actually walking back towards the center because I'm getting another bus here. Don't actually know where that bus is. Don't know how often it goes, what the cost is. Don't know any of that stuff. But I think I can guess, but we will find out. So I've been walking around Heredia for a few minutes. Don't mind that, I like Heredia. And I seem to have missed the part where I'm going to. Like, how could I miss downtown? But I did. But that is one thing about Costa Rica in general. I can be walking through like an upscale, buzzing dining district, and the next minute I'm in kind of like a residential district. Okay, here we are. So there's a bunch of buses, and I'm going to see if one of those is the bus I'm looking for. Might not get footage after that until my destination. All of these buses so far are back to San Jose, which is good information to have, but not what I'm looking for right now. That's the bus I'm looking for. And I walked all this way, don't know where it turns, but okay, I'll explain. So after walking around downtown, and I did find some other information there, I realized the best strategy, because I was already on this side of town, just find the road that the bus goes down, and probably won't be too long until I find a parada, and then I'll wait to take the bus. In fact, I saw, oh, that looks like a bench up there, so I'm just going to go and wait there. I've been waiting about 10 or 12 minutes. I'm assuming this bus is every 15 minutes. There's 2 people waiting at the stop. That's usually a good sign. Could be every 20 minutes, could be every 30 minutes. Maybe I should have planned better. I don't know. Creo que sí. Well, I just got off the bus, and this is San Isidro. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. There's a lot of San Isidros in Costa Rica. This is San Isidro de Heredia. Looks like there's some nice views, so let's find out. Hard to actually get all of that in the shot at once. So we have a paseo here. One thing I noticed is that the square, what would normally be the square, is more like just a cancha, football field, of people just walking across it. I guess that's kind of nice, but then we have this, I guess, is kind of like the square, because this is where we have the benches. Well, I've walked out of the center of town. I'm just walking around. One thing to mention, this is about 150 meters or 500 feet higher than where I live, or 200 meters higher than the center of San Jose, so it is noticeably a little bit fresher here, and I do like that. But it does also involve a lot of climbing up and down. Don't know which direction I'm going. How about this way? Why not? And this view perhaps shows just how far we came down from the valley below. Don't know where it would be directly south of there. It might actually be like Tres Rios or Montes de Oca or something like that. I'm not sure about that. You can see here, we just walked a couple more blocks and there's an open field. So the way up here, it was kind of like a mixture of like suburban and rural places. And definitely, I mean, we're still in San Jose, but kind of not, kind of comparable to Paraíso, where we're just on the edge of what would still be the urban settlement. We might see a little bit more of that later, but I'm also thinking about milkshakes. So I had a milkshake and now I'm kind of in a milkshake trance. It was a Pop's milkshake. And then I went to a mini super and I was afraid, a little bit afraid always of getting a gringo price. Actually, it was cheaper than usual and they gave me a free bag of chips as a bonus. So I'm doing pretty good and I'm walking outside of town. I don't actually know how big this town is. It's not gigantic. It's probably smaller than Athens, but not tiny. So I'm just going to walk and see. So as you can see here, we do have a yellow striped sidewalk. On the way up, it was just such a mixture, like it usually is, of like super well-kept sidewalks and like nothing. So this road continues east out of town, but it looks like it might start becoming stressful. So I'm gonna walk back into town. There's an LDS temple. Not as common here as it is in the United States or even other countries. Maybe the no coffee thing is a deal breaker. But also brings up a thing, because in the United States you usually see that a lot of times in affluent suburbs. I used to live in Lake Oswego, and I get the feeling that this is a pretty affluent place. Heredia is affluent, and this is further up, and that usually means more affluent. And I have seen that, but like a lot of times, like I've said, the signs here are so different, it's hard to tell a lot of things about the demographics of a neighborhood, and also just things like, well, is this a small town or is this a suburb? Where do the people here actually work? Is farming still a big part of this community? Those are all questions that I don't know. I'm just a guy walking around with a camera. You can see, however, that we are pretty close to hills that are either farms or that might just be straight rainforest. If you continue on this road out of town, it actually joins the main road that goes to Limon. So this is kind of the northeast frontier of San Jose. Beyond that, you really do hit the mountains and the forests. Well, there is a bus shelter here. That's always a good sign. And walking down a road like this, I'm curious if there's like a road that would lead to a mirador or a viewpoint or just a country road. And that's always a possibility, but it's an equal possibility if I found a road like that, it would just lead to a mile of muffler shops. There's another sign of the altitude we've gained. Those look like just normal apples, and apples are temperate fruits, so we're up high enough that we can start growing temperate fruits apparently. So I actually did just what I said may or may not work, which is I'm just going down a side road that leads up into the hills. Don't know how far I'll go. Depends on, as is often the case, the traffic, and I was going to say whether the sidewalk continues, but you can see it ends right ahead. Apparently still bus stops here, so I'll have to remember that for the future. And so far I've been continuing on this road, and the sidewalk hasn't been so good, but it has been quiet, so no reason to stop. It's only 2 p.m. too. We have a nice little creek, clear water. The higher up you get, the clearer the water seems to be. That's not surprising. And no access as usual, and the road continues for a while. Hopefully, I mean, I'm having fun on this road, but I want to give a balanced look at the town, so hopefully I won't make 20 minutes of footage about this and then 3 minutes of the rest of town. And so this is apparently La Comunidad de Concepción, meaning apparently Distrito de San Isidro de Heredia, of the canton of San Isidro. So that's apparently the district here. Luckily I brought my umbrella because he escuchado que Concepción es muy mojado. And I was actually looking because on Google Maps, which is all is our friend, it said there was a concha here. And sometimes, like when we were in Barva, conchas can have tracks or something to walk around. But at this point, the road does continue, and there's even like some type of bus. But I think I'm going to turn around and go the way I came and come back to the center of town. And also, there is a colony of orb weaver spiders up there. So as you can see, there is a lot of up and down here in the hills, but because it's a pretty cool day, it's cloudy and shaded, and because I do have some elevation, it hasn't as draining as some walks here have been. Also had that nice big milkshake. So I'm back on the main road. I'm walking back to the center of town, only a couple blocks till I'm there, and it's continuing to be really nice weather. I like the chilly, misty vibe here. I'm not actually sure where I'm re-entering town, but I think that'll be pretty apparent in a minute. And like a lot of things in Costa Rica, it's kind of hard to get lost, because I can kind of see which way is up and down. So I'm not totally sure because it's too far away to see really, but that line of buildings over there, that might be Coronado de Vasquez. Not sure about that. Walking back into town, I think I didn't show this last time because there's some people on the bridge, but there's the stream, and here it's running pretty clearly. Of course, you can tell it's been channelized, probably for good reasons. It's always a disappointment to me. Anyways, I'm just crossing back in the center of town. So I'm back in this paseo. I'm going to try to find a place to sit down for a while. I've been walking for a while. So there was one other thing I wanted to see before I headed out of town. So I'm just walking up this way to see if I can find something that I'm looking for. So followed this road to where it turns into this road. It's a really narrow road that goes on for a while, at least according to my map. And as you can see, this is still an agricultural town. We have a finca right here with, well, I don't know what these vines are, but over here, this is coffee. It's a deluxe crop. So one thing today coming here was not in logic. Barva and San Rafael are both in logic because I've walked there from Heredia, and that continues my line of walking. When I took the bus here, there was a lot of places where the road was kind of questionable whether I'd want to walk along it. That road I just looked at, that is a lane that leads to a road that leads back to Heredia. And so that, or at least to San Rafael maybe. And so that would put coming here to San Isidro in logic, and another day I might do that. It would probably be about 2 hours, and if it's like that, like a one-lane country road without any traffic, that would be really charming and pleasant. Get energy from the smell and sight of coffee. But if it's like a rough road with cars zooming by, it wouldn't be very fun. So I'll think about whether I want to do that. So now I'm just walking back into town. I have to decide which bus to take. There are apparently buses that go directly to San Jose, or I can go to Heredia and go to San Jose from there. I think I'm going to Heredia, but we'll see. So to be honest, San Isidro was a little bit different than I thought it would be. There was a little bit of dining downtown, but not a lot of shopping or anything. I think because most of the people here, when they shop, they probably just go to Heredia or San Jose. And so the difference is this is much more a commuter suburb, an affluent commuter suburb with some aspects of still being a rural town and an agricultural town. So it was a little bit different than what I expected, but that's why I come here, and I still enjoyed it, even if the scenery maybe wasn't as spectacular as if it was a super touristic town. There's more coffee, more or less growing in the middle of the city. So for future reference, the bus to San Isidro leads off in the plaza with this fountain. There's 3 main plazas or parks in Heredia, and I didn't actually even know about this one. This is the first time I've been here. It's a pleasant place. So I'm just going back to the train station. I think 20 minutes until the train leaves, something like that. So I won't have too long to wait. There's the train station, our friend, selfie girl. So there's the train coming in that's going through to Alajuela. As far as I know, that's not my train. The train I'm going on will come here, stop, and then directly turn around. But I did want to show that train. And that's, I believe, the Apollo equipment. Bye-bye, train. I just got off this train in University of Costa Rica. Here goes the next stop, University Latina. I timed my trip so that I always get the train that goes directly here instead of stopping downtown. Anyway, so today I just tried something, and it's really just kind of throwing darts at a map. A lot of little cities and things along the way, and sometimes I'm surprised by what I see, and hopefully it's interesting. And some of it I can't really show what it feels like to have a free bag of corn chips, but some of it I can, and hopefully it's informative. And I'm going to say bye-bye to the train, and we'll continue later.